Yo, what's good, my people? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Content Animator, and I'm here to bring you another WWE Raw review. So tonight I'm reviewing WWE Raw for July 21st, 2014. It's 4 a.m., almost 5 a.m., and I've been fucking doing freelance all night. Finally got a chance to watch wrestling, so here we go. Show you get the show that starts off with Triple H, and he's basically trolling the whole fucking crowd. I really kind of like this, but I didn't like it because I know where it was coming from. So he's basically trolling the whole crowd, saying that if you were mad about the results, he was mad about the results last night, and he should have did all the same shit that we do, like argue on Facebooks and Twitters and say we're never gonna watch again and shit like that. But then he said that, you know what, I always have a plan and things will work out for me because that's what's best for business. I thought the opening promo from Triple H was okay here. You had Randy Orton come out and go over on the fact that he hasn't gotten his rematch from WrestleMania, his one-on-one rematch, and he starts saying that he needs to be the guy to go against John Cena at SummerSlam, and Triple H was basically saying he's looking for an opponent for SummerSlam, and that's what he'll find out tonight. So you get him that comes out there and say that. Then you get Kane that comes out there and say he's tired of Randy Orton's bullshit and he wants to match at SummerSlam. And then you get Roman Reigns to come out and say the same thing, but they basically give him all the hype lines to basically say, Kane, you ain't shit. Randy Orton, you ain't shit. Y'all both faced Cena 1,000 times. It's my time. So I thought these three guys, as far as their promos goes, I thought Randy Orton did show a little bit of excitement to it, but it's the same old promo. Kane, same thing, same old promo. I like Roman Reigns here, but you can tell that they're giving him the lines right now. He still needs to speak louder. He still needs to speak with more heart, more action to it, but, they haven't given him time to speak, so I guess, this will be his time, and he'll get it. I think he'll get it. So next, you get basically Roman Reigns, who just knocks the shit out of Kane after that, and then goes after Randy Orton, but Randy Orton runs away, and Triple H sets up a handicap match for Randy Orton and Kane versus Roman Reigns. So as far as this handicap match goes itself, it was an okay match. You get Roman Reigns, who comes out with the win at the end, but it was just a match that was pretty slow for the most part, dealing with a guy that's methodical and paced like Randy Orton, and more slower guys that are bigger in build like Kane and Roman Reigns. So it was an okay match for that. It basically goes down where Kane is getting into a feud, until a little bit of bad heat with Randy Orton, and ends up choking Randy Orton because he didn't get a tag, and then Roman Reigns punches Kane from that, hits him with a spear, and picks up the win. It was an okay match for what it was. It's just those three guys aren't going to work a quick match or work a crazy efficient match, but it was okay for the guys that you had in there, especially with Kane running most of the match. So next you had the Divas, who came down to the ring, and they were basically Stephanie's hit squad. Three girls who couldn't wrestle, and Alicia Fox, who had to be the leader because she only one that can get in the ring and actually wrestle. So they come to the squad, and they're facing Nikki Bella in a 4-on-1 match. And Nikki sees Brie in the audience and goes to hug her, and they do a whole little thing. Then you get Stephanie McMahon, who comes out, and she goes into an argument with Brie, telling her that it's all her fault, all the stuff that's happening to Nikki, and they start going back and forth, her and Brie. Now, I thought Brie was okay here, with saying that Stephanie's fault for everything, and that she was happy she slapped her and different stuff like that, and, saying all this, just basic stuff about her and her sister and stuff. You get Brie, who calls Stephanie a bitch several times, and Stephanie goes, what did you say and stuff, and then ends up, Brie grabs the mic and says, I said bitch, and just this guy right here, when Brie starts calling her a bitch and stuff, the way this guy reacted to everything Brie was saying was just funny as hell. Like, he was my biggest part of this. So, you get Stephanie that slaps Brie and makes the security take her away, and that was basically that part. I thought this was okay for what it was. I did like Stephanie, just going at Brie. Stephanie's really good at her role, and Brie's getting better at what she's doing, so I thought her part in this was okay. But it was an okay segment right there to go into the match and get some more heat between Stephanie and the Bellas. And basically the match was these divas beating the shot of Nikki Bella. You get Alicia Fox, who hits her with the leg, with her scissors leg kick, or whatever it's called, the scissors leg drop, or whatever she calls it. And basically you get them and they pin her and pick up the win and throw Nikki Bella out the ring. The screen goes to black because as you can see here, Nikki catches a nip slip and yeah. I don't know what these damn Bellas is and not using that damn breast tape. Like, come on, girls, you got to use that shit. Keep them puppies in. Both of them have had that now, but I had a problem with it. But still, I know they don't want that shit to happen to them. So yeah, you get that. Let's get off this picture. But basically, the non-wrestling one wrestlers, Divas, looks over, and I'm not sure where they're going to go with the storyline. If it's going to be Stephanie actually get in the ring, but from when it goes tonight, they are drawing a lot of basic heat from this. So after that, you get a match between Bo Dallas and Bo Dallas and Damian Sandow. Damian Sandow comes out as LeBron James, talks shit to the crowd, and LeBron James leaving Miami for Cleveland stuff, and goes at Bo Dallas and saying that they're going to hate him just like they hate LeBron James. So as far as this match goes, simple match. The only part I really liked was Damian Sandow doing the elbow, and I think he was saying, "I'm going home to Cleveland" or something like that, and drops the elbow, which I thought was pretty fun, pretty funny. But besides that, they were playing Bo Dallas as a face here, and they really didn't let him speak at all, so he didn't come off well at all, and he didn't come over as a face to me either. So after that, and Bo Dallas picks up the win for using a bulldog on that pretty short match. So after that, you get Bray Wyatt, who comes out, and basically he's supposed to do a what do you call it, a Chris Jericho segment where he, the highlight reel with Chris Jericho, but they show on the app that he goes in the back and beats up Chris Jericho. This is not the pick from that, but yeah, he goes and beats up Chris Jericho in the locker room, hits him with the Sister Abigail into the lockers and knocks him out from that. They show later that he was bleeding from the ear and stuff, but he goes after that and he goes into this whole rant about, I've been here for you guys and you all say, it's Chris Jericho who's beat me. Yeah, he beat me and stuff, but it's a whole war thing that I'm going after. It's not the battle. So I thought it was an okay promo from Bray Wyatt. Not his best promo, but I thought it was okay. I think he's losing some luster because he keeps losing like this, and he's not getting these dominant wins. The last two that he had was the one against Daniel Bryan at Rumble and the one at Extreme Rules. I'm not Extreme Rules, but the one at Elimination Chamber with the Wyatts versus the Shield. But even with those two wins, they were a while ago, and he's had 3 big matches versus John Cena that's taken him down, and a match against Jericho that wasn't great and that took him down as well because they weren't significant wins for him. So I think that's bringing his character down to me. But his promo here I thought was pretty okay, and the whole attacking Jericho in the back thing I thought was nicely done, and it basically made Jericho look like a guy that's over with the crowd, but if you get him in the wrong spot you can fuck him up. So I did like that. So next you get the Miz, who comes out, and he's the IC champion. He comes out Hollywood and stuff. His entrance has more to it now. I'll go into the match. So he's facing Dolph Ziggler. The match was pretty chill. They gave it a good amount of time. Ziggler most definitely led most of this match, and he was the leader on this match. You can most definitely tell. He executed most of the moves. The hot spots came from him. The crowd cheered for him. You got a couple of "this is awesome" chants here, but it really wasn't nothing too big. Ziggler, like I said, did go over and was really keeping the pace of this match going quickly and made sure it didn't slow down to where that Miz usually matches go where he'll get that Randy Orton pace and go a little bit slower. You did get the Miz who gets Ziggler into the figure 4, and that got a pop from the crowd and the woos and stuff. Ziggler tries to get out and crowd cheering for him. He actually does get out, and then you get him that hits a zigzag after the Miz is trying to keep his face hidden from the crowd and stuff like that, which I thought was a pretty good move for him. And just the way that they were playing it up, and even afterwards they played up the Miz that is still champion. So as far as this match goes, I thought it was pretty chill. I thought it was a chill Raw match, and it did exactly what it needed to do. I'm not too big of a fan of the champions losing, especially the day after he won the championship, but I kind of happy he lost because it's the Miz, and I just don't care about him as champion. So, the whole idea of him being champion really didn't do anything for me. And I just like seeing Dolph Ziggler win. So I don't know where they're going to go with the Miz, but it got Dolph Ziggler a win over IC champion and over the Miz. So I guess I was happy about that. Next you get your Divas match, which is, what is her name? AJ and Paige versus Emma's return to Raw and Naomi's return to Raw. I'm sorry about that. People, was kind of late. I'm a little bit tired. Um, so these girls had a fairly okay match. AJ took control of the first half. Um, Paige took control of the second. Once Natty got in, she started beating up on Paige, got her into the sharpshooter. Paige crossed to get the tag, and AJ Lee comes in, hits the fuck was that shit called, Shining Wizard, and picks up the win with the Black Widow. Oh, it was, like I said, it was an okay match between these girls. Nothing too special. Didn't really get any time. They focused more on the time until the end, where the girls are starting to do the frenemy thing, and then that's when you get Paige that attacks AJ. She pulls her hair, drops her down, and starts banging her head into the headbutting her and stuff. And then, beating her up, throws outside, throws her into barricades, throws over the table, and basically screams at her the whole time, "This is my house." And you can even hear a kid while Paige is doing that primal scream going, "Use your inside voice." So I thought that was very funny. But yeah, as far as their match go, like I said, it was okay. I did like they had the beatdown segment finally, and this is finally drawing some heat to this match. The match, I mean, to this whole feud. The feud was very, very stale, just being Paige and AJ doing this whole frenemy thing, and that just left everything very, very stale and just bland to me. So I wasn't too big of a fan of that. But I did like this whole beatdown segment here, and it's actually progressing the story some, which is good to me. Hopefully they can keep up with it, and AJ can play a good face, and Paige can play a good heel, and we can have something nice out of here. So next you get Dolph Ziggler, who actually comes down with Summer and Layla, who are calling themselves Slayer now, and they basically playing all over onto Ziggler. I mean, not Ziggler, but I call this dude Ziggler. Zack Ryder. That's how long I haven't seen this fucker. But yeah, so Zack Ryder come down with the girls. Fandango's a match with him. He basically has a pretty average, below average match with Fandango. Hits his what do you call it, the Rough Rider, and gets Fandango gets his leg on a rope. The girls push it off, and Ryder picks up the win from here. A win on Raw. He's going crazy, nuts happy about it, and the girls just kissing him. So it was a whatever match. I was just happy to see Ryder get a win out of it, and get him a Raw moment that he hasn't had in months. So it was okay for that. Next, and Fandango's pissed off. So next you get a backstage segment where Seth Rollins goes to Triple H, says, "I need to be your plan B. You need to put me in a match at SummerSlam with John Cena." Triple H basically tells him that's not your place, and you have the briefcase. That's where you need to be, and Ambrose is what you need to figure it out for now. Then you get Cesare, who comes in and basically says, "I need to be your guy. I'm a walking Money in the Bank briefcase, and I've dropped Paul Heyman." First time he announces that he did drop Paul Heyman, and that he wants to be a part of the Authority, basically, and be your hitman for the Authority. So Triple H give him the chance to say, "Okay, if you can beat down Dean Ambrose and get the job done tonight, I'll think about giving you a spot." So that's set up for later tonight. I thought this was an okay backstage segment, and I did like Cesaro actually coming out and say, "Give me something, let me go out there and fight, and I'll show you what I'm worth." So I did like that part with Cesaro, and it actually gave him a time to talk and show himself as a dominant character. I wish he would change that damn roll back to the jacket. I did like that better. So next you hit a fucking backstage segment with Flo Rida and Heath Slater. Basically the same thing with them from the last time they met up. Heath Slater tells Flo Rida he has a problem with him, and Flo Rida pushes him down. It really wasn't nothing to me, especially after the hype that Heath Slater came off of last night, and I can't stand Flo Rida, so that's that too. After that, you get Flo Rida basically does his music shit, and I was going to do a big rant about this, but I'll just end it with, I'm a hip-hop fan. I'm not a fan of Flo Rida. I don't care for any music thing on a show unless it's a character or superstar's entrance and they have the guys opening them up with the music, like a Triple H or something like that, like he did, I think on one Raw he did it where a band opened up to his entrance. That I'm cool with, but this, it really meant nothing to me, and it was just a filler segment for music, so I really don't care. After that, which you had Stephanie intro and outro him, She gets confronted by cops, and it's basically Brie Bella drawing cops for being slapped, and basically getting Stephanie arrested for that. I love the way Stephanie acted here. She was very like irate with the police and saying, yeah, I slapped her, but she slapped me first, like she's taking it all out of context and stuff like that. They arrest her. They spent a little bit too much time on before they put the handcuffs on it, but once they did, the crowd totally got into it. The way Stephanie played up was totally fine. I like that a lot. And once they taken her to the back, the way she was like, I don't want to go to jail, and start crying, like Stephanie was really, really fucking good here. Like, she really acted like she was going to jail, and I really didn't like that. Triple H played it up nicely too. He was joking with the cops, saying, "You drive a hybrid? Oh, look at fancy guys." Like, I just like this segment a lot, and I thought Stephanie and Triple H played it up very well, and they did a nice job here. You did have at the end of the night, you had Booker T on the backstage pass, and he was talking about how Stephanie should, just accept the plea or whatever and stuff. And he was sounding like he's been to jail a gang of times the way he was talking. So I really did thought that was funny too. But yeah, this was a pretty chill segment right here, and I liked it a lot leading up to whatever she's going to do with Brie. So I thought this was fine. In the back, you had him and Triple H and Joey Mercury talking about whether or not Triple H is going to go to see Stephanie and get her from the jail, or is he going to try to figure out who's going to be his guy for the night? So Joey Mercury basically talk him into that, and he goes back and forth and says, I'm going to do it. So it was that part of the segment, an okay end to everything to keep Triple H here for the night. Next, you had Ryback versus Kofi and Big E. Their match was pretty average. Kofi did get a little bit of spots from the crowd and stuff, but the crowd was already pretty tired by this point, and they didn't really get too much out of it. What you did get was Ryback, who picks up a roll-up win, pulls on Kofi's tights, and picks up the win from that. And after that, you get Xavier Woods, who pops in the ring in a fresh suit and starts talking about how he's tired of being put down, him and the other guys, and they're up for a change and stuff like that. So it looks like they're going to start a faction here. If it's a heel faction, it's going to be even fucking better, because I think, we need some heels right now, and I would like to see these guys, especially with Kofi turning heel. That would be very interesting and something new, but I would like to see what they're going to do with this faction. Hopefully they don't play on a race card too much, and they just use essence of it, saying, we haven't had the time and the stride that we need to move to the next level like we should have, and hopefully they can get Xavier to pipe them up really good and hit him up with a good amount of hype as a manager or a wrestler or whatever he's going to do. So he can play the whole doctor role, that he's Dr. Xavier and he has a PhD and a smart guy and stuff, and you can play with two as the role as two good athletes in Big E and Kofi. So hope this is something really good from here and not just another Nation of Domination ripoff. So after that, you get Lana and Rusev, who comes out. They're going to have a match. Now, it was a lot of heat from this, from what they did last night on Battleground with the whole Malaysia airline thing. To me, I don't really think that they did anything too bad. They said what they said. They've been running this Russian gimmick for past 3 months, like they put out, and I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, it was out of line" and stuff like that. They've done way worse things. Remember with Sergeant Slaughter joining the Iraqis and his storyline and shit like that? They've done way, way worse things, and things where people have died. They've done way worse shit. So they didn't really play on it too much here, but they did exactly what they were going to do, and pushed it back on America and not really saying anything bad. Didn't even say the Malaysian airline people name and stuff. So it's whatever. But Lana's getting ready to go to a promo. She gets cut off by music, and it's the Great Khali, and it's a match between Rusev and Khali. Pretty shitty match, man. You can't do shit with Khali. Rusev picks up the win with the accolade, and that's really all I'm going to say about that. He has a match with Sheamus on Main Event, and I'll tell you about that. Next, you have a backstage segment with the Rhodes brothers and Stardust and Goldust. Stardust has this little object in his hand, and they're talking about ways to open it and that they need to find a cosmic key. And by the way it sounds like they're pushing them towards the cosmic key being the tag team championships and pushing them towards a fight against the Usos. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with this. I actually liked this segment for one of the first times I was actually fully with them on a segment, because it felt like what they were saying was directed towards something. It wasn't just jibber jabber coming out their mouths. After that, you get your match between Dean Ambrose and Cesaro, and they had a pretty, brawler style match. Both of them, not too much of a high flyer or stylistic, style of wrestling, more of, a lot of hits, a lot of punches, and just going at each other. It kept a good pace. The problem with this match was the crowd wasn't too much into it. I thought it was at the wrong time of the show. I would think that, replace this with the Ziggler match, because Ziggler can get more of a pop from a crowd heat because he's the more popish babyface than Ambrose is, and he'll have the faster match that, can get the crowd back into it. But, this match was okay. It didn't have the crowd into it. You get Ambrose, who comes with the DQ loss after he go through this little brutal, just back and forth with Cesaro. Cesaro's beating him up in the corner, and they start going a few more moves. Then Ambrose gets tired of it, hits Cesaro with a chair after he throws him into the ring post. So Cesaro picks up the DQ win from this, and Ambrose gets in the ring, basically says, "Is that all you got?" and basically has a big old stare down with Cesaro. So I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this and how this is going to lead into more stuff with Seth Rollins. So, a pretty okay match here. Just the crowd wasn't into it. That could have made it better. So next you get your final segment with Triple H, who comes down to the ring, basically, saying that he's found a guy that he wants to do he wants to be in the match with John Cena, and he, been looking all night and stuff like that. And Randy Orton comes out as the guy. You all know it's a farce. He gets to the ring. Roman Reigns comes out, start whooping his ass. They fight each other to the back, and then Triple H is pissed off about this. Then you get Paul Heyman that comes out. As far as that first part of this goes, it was, just set up to this. I like that it, brought a little bit more heat between Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, showing that, even if Triple H has Randy Orton in there, he got somebody that's fighting against him, so he can't use him. He can't use Seth Rollins because he got Dean Ambrose on him. And that's basically, what Paul Heyman was saying. And he basically came out, introduced his pick as Plan C, and it was Brock Lesnar. And they got in the ring. Brock Lesnar shook Triple H's hands. Paul Heyman shook Triple H's hand. And this is your new guy to face John Cena. And this is probably the best part of the night. No, this is the best part of the night. Paul Heyman goes into this promo. Man, he just starts going on John Cena. He starts talking about the whole Brock Lesnar beating the streak and stuff. They show a video of it, with this Terminator style beat in the background of Brock Lesnar beating down the Undertaker, like all these F5s to him and stuff, and just the Undertaker demolished. Show the guys in the crowd all shocked and stuff. Then he comes back, and Paul Heyman just going in on John Cena, calling him the Dr. Thugonomics, talking about all his cheers, ups and downs, and boos and stuff like that, and that it's not going to be the savior for John Cena. The crowd isn't going to be able to help him, and basically Lesnar isn't going to show Cena any mercy. He's not the type of bad guy that could, you can lay a title in front of, and you can lay a title in front of and just say, here, take it. No, he wants to demolish you and stuff like that. So I thought it was a very, 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 very good promo from Paul Heyman. And this right here hyped me up for the match on itself. Like, Paul Heyman came out, had what he needed to say down, and he went out there and did his thing. And that's the best way to end the night right here. I wish we could have at least had an attack last night from Brock Lesnar, and you could have still came into this promo with Paul Heyman, and that way you could have wrote Cena off the show for here too. But I thought it was a good night. A solid night of wrestling tonight. A great ending promo from Paul Heyman, bringing out the Brock Lesnar as the guy that's going to go against John Cena. And I thought, for the most part, everything seemed placed tonight, and everything seemed to have somewhat of a purpose tonight, besides the Flow Rider stuff and some of the in-between matches that really didn't mean too much, like the Sandow and Bo Dallas stuff, or the stuff with Rusev and Kali. I thought everything else was cool tonight. It wasn't great, but it was what it was. I thought it was a solid night, and I give it a straight B. So thank you for watching. My links are down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep watching wrestling, people. Peace.